although you have a support system, you looked in the mirror and said, I'm going through times, but I'm not gonna let the times go through me. Like, you decided to stand up and say enough is enough. Like, this is what, like you said, you took lemonades and you made it grape juice, right? And that's the leadership, right? That leadership, when people are going through disruption or poverty or layoffs or success with no support system, it is the individual in their mirror image that's going to make all the difference. Because you're right. You could have gone back home. You could have been like, you could have picked up the bottle. You could have, I don't even know what that is. You could have done all those things, but you didn't. And so you are the person that turned things around. Your parents were, yeah, anybody's support system. I want to take it off of you. Anybody that is going through hard times, when we're talking about leadership and poverty disruption, it has to start. And you said it, the mindset. You had to get to the point and said, listen, listen, it is what it is. It's nothing I could do about it. You didn't have the power to pen, but you reacted in a way where you knew that eventually you had to turn it around. But because some people don't do that, they're just like, it's everybody's fault but mine. And you did it, and you did it, and you did it. And what I'm hearing from you is saying, no, I realized it was something that wasn't my choice, but I'm going to make the most out of it because I got my kids or my parent or whatever the reason is that made the difference. And so for that's why I said I have to rebut a little, because the kudos come back to you. You could have easily been like, you could have easily fell off and not got back up, right? And not everyone can say that, but I'm hoping those that are listening or, listening or tuning in now or listening later to say, hey, Dr. Marrow and Dr. Dorsey is right. Like, we all fall on hard times. Sometimes it's a cycle, fall, get back. But the point is getting back up. And you happen to have a nest egg or support, and some people don't have that. But the point is, it's if God woke us up, then that means our time isn't over. That means that we still have time in that day to make a difference, right? And that, Dr. Morrow, I have to give you kudos for doing such a and it was the second part, and then we'll move on because we're still on, initial. You decided, and you said you were already on the brink of launching full time, and that self confidence does a lot. Even for people in like high positions, like you could have the title, and leadership is not about the title. The confidence and the mindset is going to come from the person, that personal gratification, that personal or not, that people are feeling every day. And so kudos to you on both those areas. I do want to move on to the next question because I do want to still get in some juicy things, so it's time for us to get off of here. Are you familiar with Agenda 2030?
I kind of did a little bit of research, but could you kind of give me a little bit more so that I can help?
Yeah. So Agenda 2030, main focus is ending poverty by 2030, which we're like 3 years and 4 months out, right? Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, given where we are in history, it might take to 35, right? Or like 45. But, hopefully we'll get there. But the big thing about Agenda 2030 is ending poverty by 2030. And there are 17 sustainable development goals underneath the SDGs, right? Which governs from a global standpoint down to local. And so my question, Agenda 2030 focuses on a more equitable, sustainable, and prosperous future. So I'm going to list the 17 SDGs for you, and I want you to just listen in and tell me which one resonates with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one is no poverty. So that's SDG 1. SDG 2 is zero hunger. SDG 3 is good health and well-being. SDG 4 is quality education. SDG 5 is gender equality. SDG 6 is clean water and sanitation. SDG 7 is affordable and clean energy. SDG 8 is decent work and economic growth. SDG 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. That's my favorite, by the way. SDG 10 is reduce inequalities. SDG 11 is sustainable cities and communities. SDG 12 is responsible consumption and production. SDG 13 is climate action. SDG 14 is life below water. SDG 15 is life on water, life on land, sorry.
Okay.
SDG 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. And SDG 17 is partnership for the goals. Which one resonates most with you?
Well, definitely the last one,
Mm,
infrastructure and education. Those
okay.
three.
Okay. Infrastructure, SDG 4,
Four.
SDG 9, and SDG 17.
Yes.
Yes.
And so for me, I think, oh, is it my time to explain?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
so for me, I think this is a generation where they're getting away from thinking that they need education. And you and I both know that education is important. And I know that social media has now conditioned the mind that we can make quick money and we don't need to be educated. But as time goes by, those who are educated and knowledgeable, especially now, I think it's Bowie State, one of the colleges are offering now AI degrees. I can't remember which one it is, and maybe you
I
can
think
tell
it's
me on that.
Morgan State.
Morgan State.
Yes.
So I believe that that is very, very much important because now it introduces them to what they're already used to, what they're already using to get educated on it and to be degreed in it, right? But I think this generation is thinking that education is no longer important. However, I do believe that there needs to be more educational resources and funding for our children to actually want to learn, beyond high school and go to college and all of the things and experience that. It's something that we should not let die, and I believe that that's the reason why that hit me the most, because I see kids who don't want to go to college because they oh, I can make money being a streamer, I can make money being online on TikTok, or all of those things, and that's great. We're not knocking that, but do not ever take yourself away from thinking that education is a benefit, because it really is. It takes you a long ways, because the expert will always have a head of the game over the experience, and I strongly feel that. Now when it comes to infrastructure, I feel like we need more of I don't know how I can put this. Our people need help access to the things to help build us up, whether that's with small businesses, whether that's with you know uh, all of the things, all of the categories infrastructure relates to. I think it stuck out more to me because of where we are currently in the economy and how we actually need to build these businesses. Like you said earlier in the interview about people needing to actually have a business, something to fall back on. If you ever go and visit other countries, right? You see that there are more business owners than there are workers. Our country was built on having workers. Other countries were built on people maintaining their individuality and having their own businesses. You will go and you'll see somebody selling fruit on the side of the street. You'll see them selling rice, or they'll have a business for everything. And those people are sustained with their businesses because that's what they're used to. Here, it's more so I need to get a job. I need to get a job. But if that job does not last, or if you are affected by a government nationwide firing like I was, then what do you have to fall back on? So building businesses, building economic trust, all of the things, I believe that that is why that stuck out to me. And I hope I'm on the right track when it comes to that, but that's what I got out of that. And then definitely, for me, it's like our goals for our children. I'm more so concerned about the generations after us, as I mentioned earlier, about the success and the legacy that we're leaving behind.